Oh, hello! Hello, camera, which I totally didn't place here 2 minutes ago. Welcome to Gimme's Toggle Showcase. As you guys know, I have been working on the smalls, and this is one of them. This is Gimme. I have had Gimme as an OC for ages, so it makes me very happy to be able to finally actually do a model of him. Yay. As you can tell, he's a little mimic boy. He's got his body and his little upper body, and then he has a lot of things on him that are like modeled after or nods to mimics. His shirt, most notably, the scarf part of it on this side is actually a tongue, and it's animated. The eyes on his outfit blink because they are actual eyes, and then he's got his little arm things and all of that. So we go over his outfit stuff first. His very, very, very basic outfit stuff. So if I go to custom, we've got so how Gimme's eyes are darker under his hair. There's a toggle to turn that off called eye shade, and it just gets rid of the slight shadow he has under his eyes. It's not super noticeable. I like having it on because it's meant to be a nod to some lore stuff with him from his OG iterations. So that's the thing. He can toggle off the Omnom top, so it's just the undershirt. And then he can also turn off his accessories. So it's literally just oh my god, I'm just a pirate. So he's got all of those. He's also got a little scarf. This, by default, is on, but it saves between loads, so I had it off, so that's why it was off when I was loading into him. And then, now that is over with, we can go over my opinion, the funner toggles, which would be the body toggle mod things for him. So obviously there's this form, which is his base form, I'd argue. Technically, this is, for me, it's defaulted on. I don't remember if it starts on or off, but in the toggles, it is called Mimic Form Disable, and it's in his chest menu under Custom. And if I toggle it off, he gets legs! Oh my god, I have legs! What do? I have legs! So, this isn't really canon to his original form, because his original, lore concepting, he doesn't have this. I really just added this because I figured someone would want him to have it as a toggle, or would want that. If you're in full body, it's sometimes a little bit better to have legs, so I added it as a toggle for those people, and for me, and if I ever start using my full body regularly, which I probably won't, but whatever. But yeah, and you can see he's got the little chompy tail thing. So these are only a thing on PC side, mainly just because I didn't have enough physics to do them on Quest, enough Fizzbones. But they're only a thing on PC side. I think it's not really a huge deal that they're not on Quest, because quite frankly, they're not part of Gimme's original design, and I really just added them because I figured there'd be someone who'd want, a more mimic-themed thing. And then he's got, if I go back to this form, he has the little idol, which you can kind of see where his arms will move up and down, and then the chest will kind of breathe. There's a secondary motion in the motion things, which was him just slamming the ground. If you do this, you do have to toggle the breathe back on manually, but I added that because little guy pouts a lot. He's very gremlin-y, so you gotta give him a little bit of physical stuff for that. His chest is on a fizz bone with gravity on it, so that's why it's staying flat to the floor, even though it's technically it's attached to his hip bone on technicality. So because of how that is, I actually have a toggle to turn it off, and it will his chest will wobble more, I guess. I mainly have this for Go-Go Loco. If someone's laying down in him and they're in the chest, I don't want the chest to just wonk out, so that's why that's a toggle. And And then the kind of his big thing, right, outside of like this and whatnot, is actually his secondary mimic form, which I refer to as his boss mimic form. If you were to ever actually fight him in an RP, because he is a mimic and because he does have a plot line where he becomes a boss monster, this is that form. And he has the little arms become a lot bigger. As you can see, they're a lot like bigger. They have the rotation constraint tracking, so I can do, oh my god, look at me, sort of thing. And when he has these on, he's got this sword. He's got the lion sword, which I'm sure some of you are probably familiar with from Bream. And this sword can do a couple different things, but the main one is, I accidentally toggled it off, is if I do fist, it will light up like this, and then I can, and the fire just stays there for a minute. It goes way further than this. The camera angle's not the best for it, but that is his, like, I guess, like, his boss form thing. The sword you can also just, like, put down. It can just kind of sit here and just chill. I will say it's not super accurate to him because Gimme, canonically, he fights using random items. It's I tried to get the sword to kind of look like it's made out of scrap metal because it's a little bit more accurate to him. Okay. It's a little bit more accurate to him for it to be scrap metal. But because I'm me, I could not find something where it was like a chair where you hit it on something and it shatters. At least one not where it's like super easy to set up. I didn't really want to like go crazy because setting up the arms was already pretty nuts. I had to do all of the constraint stuff for that manually because these hands, the asset that has these hands on them is kind of before auto setting up constraints with Fury was really a thing, which there is a way to do that now, but like it's still not even a common known thing in the community that you could do. So these were made before that was really common practice, so I had to set up all the rotation constraints by hand, which I don't mind doing. So yeah, that's that, and then I can just go back to his little normal-ish form. There's a couple other, like, smaller things on him. Like, obviously, he has Mr. Snuggles, which is the cat. The name is meant to be a joke, because it is a gelatinous cube, or a reference, at least, to a gelatinous cube. Because if Gimme's going to be one of the most iconic monsters from D&D, you bet his pet's going to be the other iconic monster from D&D, in my opinion. He's called Mr. Snuggles, because I think it's really funny that, you have a thing that is called Mr. Snuggles, but if you snuggle them, they will try to eat you, because it is a gelatinous cube, and their whole thing is eating people who are in them, pretty much. So, other things that Gimme has is obviously Mr. Snuggles. He has these coin flows. These are a PC only thing, but with Gimme's obsession with taking small trinkets, you can imagine he collects a lot of coins. It's worth noting that a lot of them aren't real coins, because he doesn't really care if they're real or not, so people often will give him, like, chocolate coins and stuff, but, I thought it would be kind of fun to give him, like, some sort of flow toy, so he has these, and then the other thing he has, and this is actually my favorite thing on him, is, I kind of need that to be able, okay, is he has a toggleable map. Right, toggleable map. I've had this asset for a while. I've wanted to put this on a couple different characters, but I've never really have because it didn't really work. With Gimme, I feel like it works because Gimme canonically doesn't really talk. He normally just says, "Gimme, mine." He was named like a Pokemon. He is the Pokemon character in a way, because of how he talks and how he interacts with things and how he does stuff. So I thought it'd be funny to give him like a scroll, theoretically, from whoever he's traveling with a bunch of different phrases on them. And then you can kind of toggle and cycle through the phrases. There's a whole bunch of them, but they kind of vary a bit. I can kind of read off the general ones. So he has, obviously his default is I can't read, and it's spelled with 2 E's, so it's REED. He has one about don't bother me, do not interact, I am looting bodies. Is a reference to the fact that D&D, that's a huge part of it, is you go and you loot corpses. There's one that says easy kidnapping. It's literally, basically what it says is easily kidnappable, and then it says mimic, but it's crossed out, and then it says child afterwards, because Gimmy's whole thing is he's masquerading as a kid, kind of. And then some of the other ones include one talking about, like, oh, maybe the treasures, the mines. Whoop, sorry about that. Maybe the treasure was the mines along the way, which is a reference to the fact that Gimme can only say gimme and mine, and then also the fact that he's a very material person. He's not gonna think friendship is a thing. I mean, he will, but it won't be like, he'll think of it as an object rather than like a emotional thing. So, that's one of the ones. I'm not gonna go through all of these because there's like 10-ish, but I'm gonna get over the general ones. I think you guys kind of get the vibes from the ones that I've been reading off. I have one where it's if found, return to the murder hobos, because that's like the standard name for like when you have a fully chaotic neutral D&D party, and Gimmy's very chaotic neutral, so I feel like that lines up. But yeah, this is one of those things that's on him that I really like, because I feel like it fits him as a character really well. I feel like it just, yeah. Then, obviously standard Go Go Loco, which I can do here. He also has the hand dependency thing I have. He does have Boop and Head Pat. I can't trigger them right now, but he does have them. You can also turn off the emoji ads, and then I've been starting to do this with a lot of my newer characters, but he has the limb scaling for FBT, where you can kind of alter his arms. Right now I have them at the smallest setting because it fits better for my arm length. But yeah, he does have it where you can kind of like lengthen and you could do the same thing with his legs. It's kind of hard to tell with the chest, but you can. And so, that's kind of like the gist of like his setup pretty much. It's I want to say it's basic, and then I have to remind myself, like, no the heck it ain't. Like, I don't know. I get really like, oh, am I doing enough sometimes for OCs? And then I have to think about it for like 20 minutes to be like, it's a demon, you're good. So other things that I would want to mention is Gimmy's outfit, outside of like the body base, the head, the tails, and like the chest itself were modeled by me. I modeled the headband, the eyes, all of that. That's something that's going to become a lot more normalized with my smalls. They're going to be kind of in like this sort of style. I obviously also don't do the hair. Gimmy's hair is like 4 hairs in a trench coat. They're all credited because I'm not like whatever. I just haven't gotten to the point where I can do hair from scratch yet. So I'm just working with what I have most of the time. But that's going to become a more normal thing with smalls. Technically speaking, this is one of 2 demos that is coming out today. There is Gimmy's demo, and then there is Cheshire's demo for the smalls. There is going to be a tall who comes out today, so keep your eyes peeled for that as well. I will see you guys. I will see you on the Cheshire demo. Ah! Ah! Okay, I might have lied. There's one other thing I forgot about Gimme. He also has an expandable version of his pocket dimension on him, which is this. It's more just meant for if you're sitting still as him, or you're like in an AFK, or you're not doing anything, but I think it's pretty. So, yeah. That's everything for Gimme, though. This is the last thing.